Hi guys, welcome back to another Tuesday video, and my name is Morgan. So I thought I'd do something kind of cool, and I was going to take some books I'd love to see as Korean dramas. And yeah, we're going to get into this video. So the first book I have is Everything Everything, and this is by Nicole Yoon. This book is basically about a girl who has a really rare disease, and it basically means that she's allergic to basically everything in the world. And so she lives her whole life in this house until one day this boy named Ollie moves next door, and of course they fall in love, and it's a really cute romantic story. I can definitely see this as like a full 16 episode show about a girl and a boy falling in love, and then her illness and dealing with that illness, and also dealing with like a crazy mom. And so I think it'd be a really interesting book to see as a Korean drama. Next book I have is I'll Give You the Sun by J.D. Nelson. I'll Give You the Sun is very interesting because it's about two twins and their point of views. One twin, her point of view is in the future, and the other twin's point of view is in the past, and they kind of all meet up in present time eventually. This book is really good, although I do want to mention I don't like Jude in it. I skipped all the parts, but I do think this would make a really interesting Korean dramas because you're not even focusing on the future. It's like past and future. You gotta figure out the twists and turns, and we all know how Korean dramas are with their twists and turns and stuff like that. Although there is I don't want to ruin it for you, but there is something in this book that I think would have to change because I know that Korea wouldn't be as open to it. But besides that, I think this would be a really interesting book to see as a Korean drama. Next book I have is Fill-In Boyfriend, and this is by Casey West. This book is basically about a girl who gets dumped right outside of prom, and then she gets this guy who she sees in the parking lot to pretend to be her boyfriend because no one else believes that she has this boyfriend. Well, especially this one girl who's really, I forgot her name, but she's really like rude to her. So they pretend that he's her boyfriend, and then she has to pretend that she's his girlfriend. And it's a really cute book, although the plot line was kind of like, it's okay. It was okay. The ending I didn't like. I didn't like that there wasn't any like stuff didn't get solved. But besides that, I'm not talking about the book, I feel like the concept, like having a fill-in boyfriend or having a boyfriend pretending to be your boyfriend, I think that would make any really cute romantic Korean drama, whether it be a web series or whether it be a full drama. I'd love to see a concept of something like this, not the book, but like a concept of like the fill-in boyfriend as a K-drama. Next book I have is another book that I don't really like, but I think the concept is really cool to have as a Korean drama, and this is My Life with the Walter Boys, and this is by Ali Novak. This book is basically about a girl named Allie whose parents dies, and she goes to live with the Walters. The Walters have 11 boys plus one girl who basically acts like a boy anyways, and about her life with them. And I don't really remember what happened in the book, I'll admit it right now. Probably not my favorite book of all time, kind of not that great, but I like the concept of this girl having to live with a bunch of boys. And I don't know if that would go over well with Korean culture, but like I think this would be a really cute web series of her trying to figure out herself while kind of falling in love with one of the boys, of course. Venn Diagram. This is the book I'm currently reading right now. It's basically about this girl who's like really socially awkward, and she's really amazing at math. And she has a issue where when she touches someone, she knows like everything about them. Like she knows all their insecurities. She knows like their deepest, darkest fears. She knows everything about them. But she meets this guy named Zen, and she gets some really dark images from him, I guess. And this book is really interesting. I'm not even halfway through it, but I really like it so far. And I think this would be a really interesting Korean drama to kind of have like magical powers in it or supernatural powers in it, and then having like this crime or this like mystery among who's Zen and stuff like that. So I think this would be a really interesting K-drama that I would definitely watch because I love like supernatural, and I realize that a lot of Korean dramas don't really like help my supernatural like craving I have, because a lot of times they're kind of overly corny. But I'm hoping that if they ever, which I would doubt, but I would hope that if they would alternate reality, whatever, do the Venn diagram, that it wouldn't be as corny. So the next drama I'm going to talk about is The Star Bound Chronicles, and there's 3 books. I do have all 3, but my sister is borrowing 1. But look how pretty the cover art is. Like, that's so pretty. I'll put like the first one cover art somewhere right here. But these books are all different characters. Like, there's like 6 main characters, but they each have their own books, and they each don't know each other till, like, I would say the last book. So the first book is basically like Titanic in a way. It's about this girl whose father basically owns most of the galaxy, and this guy who's kind of rough from the edges, he's from the military, and they end up crashing on a abandoned island, which is crazy, and kind of about them surviving and stuff like that. There's more to it, I don't ruin it. And then this book is about this girl lives on this island with him, and she's in the military, and his sister was a part of the rebellion, and he's part of the rebellion, and it's about kind of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of story. And then the last book, she's actually in this book. This girl right here is in this book, but she's like not a main player until this book. But it's about her who's a con artist, and she's trying to figure out why her father died, and he is like a huge hacker. At the end of it, the 4 other characters come together and they kind of fight against evil. And so I really just want a Korean drama that has to do with space. That's all I want. I want a romantic Korean drama that has to be in space and be cool, because I have never seen anything like that before, where it's like a drama in space, but it's not like scientifically in space or anything like that. The next book I have is probably like my top 5 favorite books, and this is from the Remnant Chronicles. And the first book is The Kiss of Deception. The second book is called The Heart of Betrayal, and then the third book is called The Beauty in Darkness. This book is basically about this girl who doesn't want to get married, and she runs away, and she goes to work like basically at a tavern, and there she meets 2 very handsome men. But what she doesn't realize is that one of them is the prince that she was supposed to marry, and the other one is an assassin sent to kill her. I know that this is more like medieval kind of feeling to it, but I feel like they could definitely make this into like a historical drama, like a fictional historical drama where there's a king coming after her and also an assassin, except they do have it where she kind of, it's this weird, she has like a power where she can sense danger. I feel like they shouldn't really add that in, or maybe if they do, make it more like she's psychic. But I'd love to see this as a Korean drama, because I feel like it'd be really interesting and full of action, but yet full of romance, and you'd be kind of like, who, well, I mean, we would know. Well, maybe we wouldn't, because they would change the names, but it'd be really interesting to know who's the assassin, who's actually the prince. Next book I have is from Rebel Belle, and this is from Rachel Hawkins. There is, I think, 3 other books that I have yet to read, which I need to read. But this book is basically about a prom queen who's very like kind of prissy in a way. She's very like Southern Belle, and she basically inherits these powers to protect like basically this chosen one, and this chosen one is of course this guy that she absolutely hates, and she has superpowers. And I love to see this as like a web series kind of thing, where it's like love-hate relationship, and then them falling in love. And I know that they wouldn't be able to do like a Southern Belle kind of thing, but I do want to say that, you know, I could see it as like she comes from a really wealthy family, and the guy's like, he's always in trouble, and she doesn't like him because he's always in trouble. But then eventually she starts to kind of like fall for him, and then she has these powers, which makes things kind of complicated. But at the end of the day, I would just love to see a girl kicking butt. And the last books I have is, oh my god, they're my favorite books of all time. I probably reread these books probably like 8 times each, probably 9, and they just came out with the second book or the third book, so I'm gonna die right now because I am so excited about it. But these are To All the Boys I Ever Loved, and this one is P.S. I Still Love You, and they're from Jenny Han. And she just came out with another one that's Forever and Always Laura Jean, that I'm gonna get really soon. I'm really excited. But these books are basically about this girl. Well, the first book is about a girl who every boy that she falls in love with, she writes down a letter for them to kind of like let go. It's her way to let go of her crush or let go of her feelings for a boy. Unfortunately, those letters are sent out to all the boys that she's ever loved, and it causes a lot of conflict. And also, I know they don't mention it on this because like they don't give it, but this is like one of the reasons why I love this book so much, is because she actually has to fake a relationship with someone, kind of like Phil and Boyfriend, but she actually has to fake a relationship with one of the guys that she writes a letter to. And oh my god, this is such like a sweet story, and it's funny, and it's well written, and it's corny like a Korean drama should, and I can see this as your typical really overly romantic drama. And I know in this one, well, I don't know the third one, but I know in this one it's basically about her kind of finding herself even more, and her figuring some things out about some people, and like that you get to see jealousy, and I don't know, it's just a really good story that kind of talks about what it's like to be in high school and stuff like that. And also the girl, she's half Korean too, so I mean, if that helps, just make this into a movie. I love this book so much, and I can't wait to read the next book. Anyways, you guys, that was 9 books I love to see as Korean dramas. If you did like this video, please feel free to give it a like. If you didn't, it's okay. Don't hate me. Also, feel free to write down below, tell me what your favorite book is that you would love to be made into a Korean dramas, or if you disagree with anything I said, please write it down below. Also, feel free to check out Sam's other video that she put out last Tuesday, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye!